Okay, how many people came over? And how many people left me and abandoned me in my time of need? I trusted you. I thought you loved me. I'm honestly burnt out. I think because I've done so much today outside of YouTube. And we did do a couple streams back to back that I don't even feel like I have the energy. So I think I'm going to leave it at this. After, and then if there's a chase or something else, I'll come on. If not, then tomorrow we'll continue with whatever else. Let me tweet this out. World of Twitter. Hi. Hoax. Hoax just had the baby. Yeah. So let's check this out, man. Nancy Grace spoke with Believe It or Not. Wait. That's the wrong episode. Okay, here we go.
Hey, have you seen?
Oh, it's 55 something minutes? Oh, they add. Okay, so the mom is there for like 20 minutes or something. And then there's the panel. So we'll do visual with the mom, and then I'll switch to audio with the panel. You know, I'll try to give a little bit of commentary if I can.
Pants to appear in the last hours. The freak that
shit.
Police say attacked, murdered, and I believe molested a little 11-year-old girl, Audrey Cunningham, refuses to put on a pair of pants to appear in front of the judge. So if he's going to act like that to a judge with complete disdain and disrespect, how do you think he treated an 11-year-old little girl behind closed?
Thank you. There's a 25-minute one posted. Thank you. I'm dragging a little bit behind a little bit. Let me see. You're right. Thank you so much. We'll do that one. And if we want to listen to the other portion, we can, the commentary. But we'll just do the, I just want to see the mom, really.
Right now is Audrey's mother. There's been a lot of speculation about her. A lot of mean things have been said about her online. I want you to meet Cassie Matthews. Miss Matthews, thank you for being with us. We've heard a lot from Audrey's grandparents, with whom this sweet little girl was living with a child sex offender in the backyard. We've heard a lot from them. But, you know, I knew it all about suffering, about grieving, about mourning. After my fiance was murdered, when I gave birth to the twins, I found out I don't know anything. And Miss Matthews, I can't tell you how much we've been praying for you and how sorry we are. And I know that.
Wow. I saw Nancy Grace at CrimeCon, and I saw her do one of her shows. And a lot of people have like a dislike for Nancy. She told her story. I think it was about her husband that was murdered and stuff like that, and why she's so passionate about the way she is. I was moved. A lot of people hate on her. I get it. I was moved. I was touched by it. And when I met her and I took a picture, the first picture. So one thing I realized with her, the person that's taking the pictures for her, it's always like a above picture. Like if the camera's up here, looking down. I think that's something that Nancy tells them. You have to take it from up above for whatever reason. I don't know. Everybody that got in line was like this. Anyway, the pictures that the person took, because they take the camera from you. They don't like let you take the picture. They take it from you. So there's a camera person there. And the pictures that I took, my eyes were like closed. And so I was like, damn, and I walked away. And I'm like, oh my God. So I got back on the line because I just wanted a nice picture with Nancy. And I walked up to her and she looked at me. I was like, she was really nice. I forgot there was a little kind of a remark back and forth. I forgot what we said. She was really nice. And we took the picture again. She was kind to me. She wasn't like, this evil monster that people say she is or they believe she is. I don't know. Rafa, thank you so much for the 5 memberships. Appreciate that. PJ, thank you for the memberships as well. Thank you guys. Gracias.
That means nothing. I almost hate to even say it. But I want you to know our whole staff has been thinking about you and praying. And I want to thank you for being with us right now.
Yes, ma'am. I want to do everything that I can for my baby.
Everyone joining me is Cassie Matthews. This is little Audrey Cunningham's mother, Audrey, 11 years old when she was killed. Audrey, when I look at her, Miss Cassie, is just so full of joy and life. I'm looking at a picture of her now with a little white t-shirt on with the blue sundress over it. And now she's got on a little black t-shirt and looks like a little pocketbook strapped over her shoulder. She's just so precious and looks so well taken care of. How in the hay do you believe this happened, Miss Matthews?
I don't understand how it happened at all. I don't understand how they put so much effort into keeping her from me, but they couldn't put the same effort into knowing the people that they had around her.
And I don't know why. I still don't know why mom didn't have custody. I guess people online have, and I have to give commentary, guys. I just have to. I don't know if they're going to try to copy claim this video, so I have to pause. I don't know if, because people were saying that they were claiming that it was because of drugs, but she's denied that and said that's not true. The only thing she would say vaguely is that she was pressured, and so she kind of gave in, and the dad got custody.
Miss Matthews, what happened when you discovered that Audrey was missing? How did you find that out? Or did you know that before you found out that she had been killed?
So it was Thursday evening. I'm going to say it was like 7:00. Tabitha herself had gone and contacted or went to the home of my fiance's mother and was asking her if she knew where we were, if we were there, and had said Audrey was missing. Now, his mother instantly calls him, of course, and she makes her get on the phone with me, and she's telling me that she's missing and asking me if I had seen her. And of course, no, I haven't seen her. I honestly wanted to ask her if it was a sick joke, but I didn't. And I'm used to a lot of crazy things from that family. So when she said no, she's missing.
So, Cassie, you said that the paternal grandmother, Tabitha, went knocking at your fiance's mom's door looking for Audrey. Did they call you immediately?
Of course, my fiance's mom called him instantly, and she told him that I needed to be on the phone ASAP, and then she put Tabitha on the phone and made her talk to me.
Why didn't she want? I mean, I would think she would have called you first. Had they been blocking you seeing Audrey?
I haven't had any type of contact. I had the last bit of contact that I had with Josh, where I was once again begging to see my daughter in any way that made him or her comfortable. Whatever I needed to do, I had to do that through my fiance's messenger.
So the grandma shows up at your fiance's mom's place looking for Audrey. Then
that's weird. Yeah.
Your fiance's mom has her call you. And what did she say?
She tells me that she's missing. She didn't make it home off the bus. Asked me if I had seen her, which that's a crazy question because you haven't allowed me to see her in so long. And after that, I had told her about how Stephen had messaged me strangely out of the blue the night before, and that I would share the messages with her. And then I asked her where Stephen was, and she went from
Are
a
you referring
hysterical
to the
state.
defendant, the murder defendant, Don Stephen McDougall, age 42? Is that who you're referring to?
Yes, that's who I'm referring to.
When they asked where's Audrey, what did you say?
I, of course, told them I haven't seen her. And in my mind, I wanted to snap and tell her, of course, I haven't seen her. You and your son haven't let me see my daughter in how long now? But I didn't because I instantly wanted to know where my daughter was. That was the thing that took over. I waited
You
on
also
officers.
asked the grandma, where is Stephen? And we know
Yes,
that
I
to be
did.
Stephen McDougall.
I had told her about
Why?
him messaging me. I had told her about him messaging me out of the blue the night before, and told her that he had said to me that he was going to take her to school that morning. And I asked her where he was.
And a lot of people were kind of talking about that. I didn't see the mom's interview. She was on another YouTube channel, and they did an interview. But some people were thinking that there was more to the mother and this guy, like they've talked before, or she was downplaying it. I don't know. But the mother had said, the mother right now had said that the biological father of Audrey would have men in the house, in and out of the house.
And had she seen him? And she went from hysterical to stuttering. I gotta go.
You told me earlier she went from calm to hysterical.
No. She went from hysterical to stuttering, and she had to go.
Oh, as soon as she realized that Stephen McDougall had been with Audrey, she had to go and hung up the phone.
It was her stuttering the word, She didn't have anything else to say other than, I gotta go. Now, in the 911 call, you can clearly hear him in the background.
Oh, interesting.
Guys, we are speaking with Cassie Matthews. This is Audrey Cunningham's mother. What happened after that? After she hangs up, what do you do?
I'm about to melt down. I hit my knees. I prayed. My fiance is sitting there trying to comfort me, but I didn't even want him to touch me. I didn't understand what was going on. I'm pacing a rut in my house, just wondering where she could be, where I could look, what I could do. I'm waiting for the officers. When officers finally showed up, they asked if they could search my home. And of course, I asked them if I needed to step outside, whatever made them more comfortable. But I wanted them to go ahead and, get that done and start looking for my baby. Now, I tried to ask a couple questions, and they just kind of looked at each other after they searched and were like, okay, it's all clear. Let's move on. And then left. Nobody really answered any questions for me for a long time.
What was the next thing that happened in your world?
Well, the next thing that happened was I am being advised that it would probably be best, advised but not advised, which makes no sense to me, but that is what has been said, that I should stay put in my own home. And then shortly after that, my fiance, and the roommate that we have at the time, we're getting picked up by the sheriff's office and investigators. We go and we spend, I think it was almost 16 hours up there. Now the entire time I'm being asked 20 million questions that I'm able to answer with no problem. They keep trying to say to me, I feel like there's something you're not telling us. I feel like there's something you're not telling us. Well, finally, I snapped
hold on.
for a second.
Who took you where?
The sheriff's department, and they had a few of the investigators with them. They took us up to
Took you
the
where?
Polk County Sheriff's Department.
So you were there, your fiance was there, and your roommate was there, and they were peppering you with questions really about where's Audrey? When have you last seen her? Did you take her? Did you hide her? Questions
And
of that nature,
about
correct?
the messages between Stephen and I from the night before. And they were asking me if
Yes, now that's very curious, Cassie, because I find those text messages that McDougall sent you very, very incriminating for him, because he is playing on your emotions. He knows how much you want to see Audrey. So basically, Cassie, McDougall is using your daughter as bait to lure you down to the river where her body was later found. Why was he doing that? And claiming he was going to keep it secret from her dad. What was his game?
Well, when he first approached me, and see, when I say approached me, it was all through Facebook Messenger. I've never had his number or anything like that. But he had said that he was Audrey's babysitter, which was instant red flag. I didn't understand. But he had said that he wasn't going to pick parents' sides, that he was concerned about what Audrey wanted and how she felt, and that he thought it was wrong for her to be kept from me if she wanted to know me. So he played on the fact that I was desperate for anything. I wanted pictures. Anything that had to do with my daughter. And for a minute, I could have believed that. But then I thought more into it, and I just knew something was wrong. And I had been speaking to my family about it. I'd been telling my fiance told me from the jump not to associate with him in any way. Do not. But he doesn't understand how I was feeling when I was craving something of my daughter.
Did you have any idea this freak was your daughter's babysitter?
Not until he had messaged me, and I had tried to contact Josh, wondering what the is going on. And I asked my family over and over again if they could try to contact, and they tried to get no answer. I wanted to know why a man that nobody knows is being left with my 11-year-old daughter. I mean, he could have chose anyone else under the sun, and it would have been okay. But when he invited me down to go fishing to see my daughter, well, for one, I knew better. But at this point, knowing what I know now, I feel like he did something to Audrey Wednesday before he even messaged me. And that if I would have went, he would have gotten rid of me as well. And then it would have been chalked up to I kidnapped my daughter and I ran with her, and people.
That is, I haven't thought of that one. I was thinking when he was talking about in the Facebook messages where he wanted the mother to come out to meet the daughter. And the mother was like, "Oh, I'll bring my fiance." And he's like, No, you can send him off to Walt. You, me, and your daughter should talk. I was thinking he either wanted to hurt the mother too, or he never planned to meet her, that he was just he used the messages to show Audrey that, hey, I've been talking to your mother. She really wants to see you. And like, well, that's why we're not going to school today, type of thing. And then he did what he did. But maybe Audrey was already passed. Maybe he wanted to, kill this woman as well and make it look like she ran off with Audrey.
Would have forever been looking for two people that don't exist, not looking in a river.
Question. So you believe this was part of a bigger plan? Why do you believe, Cassie, he needed, in his mind, to kill Audrey?
I don't understand that at all. Actually, I can understand the little bit of hatred that he would have for me, because I would be the only person that could remove her from the home, where he was already residing. I have no idea why he felt the need to. I actually, you know what? And this is, oh my God, it makes me sick to my stomach to say, but I think that in a pedophile's mind, they see a child and they see their actions as an adult would see another adult. Okay. I feel like maybe he was in love with my daughter and he thought that maybe at one point she did say that he was her favorite person or something like that. Maybe he was good to her, but she was looking at him as nothing other than an uncle, the way a child should, if at most.
Cassie,
But what if
do
he was
you
in, but
believe
what if
he
he was in
had
love with my daughter?
already?
What if he tried to make an advance on my daughter and he didn't get the reaction that he wanted? He either snapped or he knew that she would tell. That is what I think.
Do you believe he had already molested her?
That was a pretty ballsy question. I don't know. I'm not. I mean, I don't know. The whole conversation about that, I'm sure they'll find out during whatever, maybe, I don't know. Maybe they'll find out. I'm not sure what the fixation is to keep talking about it. I don't know. Maybe just a warning, I guess, or something for people out there, I guess, with their kids. I don't know. I mean, the guy was a weirdo for sure. Let me take that back.
What if he tried to make an advance on my daughter and he didn't get the reaction that he wanted? He either snapped or he knew that she would tell. That is what I think.
Do you believe he had already molested her?
I mean, I don't know. That's pretty wild to straight out ask because I couldn't imagine as a parent when somebody asks you something like that of your child that's deceased. God knows what happened. The guy's a effing weirdo. We know whatever's possible, right? We know the possibility, but then you're making that person like think about it, visualize it. Maybe I don't know.
I don't know. Do you know that I didn't find out that her pants were on the debate until I watched your interview with
Tim Miller.
Yeah.
And you know what, Cassie? I didn't know either until I was talking to Tim Miller and he told me live at that moment. I didn't know that either. And it felt like a knife in my heart. How
I'm
did
really trying to
you...
hold it together. I'm sick.
sorry, Cassie. I am
sick to
so
my
sorry.
stomach. I don't understand.
Cassie, how did you learn that they had found Audrey?
A lady from the sheriff's department and one of the jailers, I believe, was sent to my home to tell me and to sit with me until a family member or some type of support. They weren't supposed to leave me alone, and they didn't. She was really good to me, but I just knew in my stomach when my fiance come to the room because I hadn't gotten out of bed. I was just stuck in my bed when he had come to me and said that there was a lady from the sheriff's department at the door and that they needed to speak with me. I knew in my and
You know what,
honestly,
Cassie? I don't know how people know that, but when I found out that I was supposed to call my fiance's sister, I knew. I knew he was dead. I knew right then. So when you hear there's a sheriff lady at the door, you knew that Audrey was
I knew
gone.
my stomach dropped. My heart just everything just stopped for a minute, honestly. And I felt like I couldn't breathe when she told me. I
What
didn't
did she say? Did she reveal anything?
know. She looked me in my face, asked me to sit down, and then she said, "This is not news that I want to be giving you right now." And I started bawling, and she was like, "Yeah, you know, baby, you know." And she was right. And honestly, I still don't know how to process any of this. If you want me to be nothing but truthful, I am in search for a therapist at the moment, because I have been a manic depressant with extreme anxiety since I was 15 years old. I am so scared that this is going to be a depression that I can't get myself out of. I I feel numb. I don't feel much of anything else at all. I feel numb. I don't sleep. I don't I just sit there and I watch videos and look at pictures, and I read all of these comments on the internet, and that's all I can do. All I can do is just put all of my thought into this in general. I can have someone sitting right next to me and they're talking to me and I don't hear a word that they say because I'm just
Cassie, I'm going to hook you up with a therapist. I've got somebody for you, a lady for you to talk to, and I'll hook you up with her in just a few moments. Cassie, did you have any idea about McDougall's record? Why was he living in the backyard? Why did he have access to the home?
so I had no idea until I made the Facebook post and people started commenting, because as much effort as they put into keeping me away, I figured they would put the same type of effort into knowing the people that were around. If I would have known that I needed to do her father's job because he didn't give a to do it, I would
Oh,
have known.
jeez. Oof.
But I knew
I've got a
from the
question
jump
for you,
something was not
Cassie.
right.
You said that as soon
Going off on the father.
as you told your fiance he wants to meet me down by the river and he's going to bring Audrey, your fiance immediately said, "Do not talk to this guy. Stay away from him." Did everybody know this guy was bad news? Why would he say that?
He did not like the fact that he was like persistent on trying to get me alone. He said that he had a bad feeling about him and that there just something wasn't right. And my fiance is an excellent judge of character. He really is.
He was right. Question to you. Did you discover that McDougall was actually going door to door like he was looking for Audrey?
That's the part right there that just infuriates me to the point where I could put my hands around his throat and squeeze and not stop.
That's crazy. That made me flash back to the story. The old time people might remember me covering on the channel. There was this father. I'm getting like a headache. There was this father that burned down the house with like his wife, and I think it was like 4 or 5 kids. And I guess the house is burning. I don't know if police. I don't remember the exact story, but like he comes rushing home, and they're like, "Oh my god!" And they're hugging him, and they're hugging him, and he's like, "Yeah." Oh, and I remember one of the things he said too that stuck out to me when he was like something about like I don't remember, something like "I got this" or "God got me" or "I'll be okay" or something. Your whole family got what he's like. Something weird about what he said. And then he was doing a whole prayer circle, and the whole community was coming around him and all this shit. And then they arrest his ass. And he's the one that burnt down and killed his family. And sometimes you hear some situations like this guy is responsible for Audrey. And I didn't know that this guy was over here knocking on the doors and putting on a whole facade and looking.
Where I could
Look, you discovered that McDougall was actually going door to door like he was looking for Audrey?
That's the part right there that just infuriates me to the point where I could put my hands around his throat and squeeze and not stop. How do you know damn good and well what you did to my daughter, and then you search for her like you care? You don't care. You killed my daughter, and then you want to search for.
When you found
sick.
out that Audrey was missing, and McDougall writes he was taking her to the bus, did you ever text him or call him and say, "Where's Audrey"?
He messaged me, actually, and he said, "Hey, have you seen Audrey? She didn't make it home off the bus." And I said, "Where the is my kid, Steven?" Because I knew.
Yeah, what?
He was trying to cover his tracks. I wonder if he was trying in some way to set you up. I can't figure it out. But I guarantee you this, Miss Matthews, I will figure it out. I will figure it out. And I want you to know, not only are we praying and thinking about you, we're not letting go of this until this guy gets a Texas death penalty.
Can I be honest
I
with
know
you about that?
you don't care if he gets the death penalty. Other people do.
I actually don't want him to receive the death penalty only because I am not God. It is not my place to, judge when somebody else's life ends.
I'd say give him the death penalty. The reality of the death penalty is these people are going to get appeals upon appeals upon appeals. Are they even really going to give him the death penalty? I don't know, but if it was me, I'd be like, yeah, sure, put him. I don't give a fuck. Put him for the death penalty. But yeah.
And that to me is an easy way out for him. I have to live with the fact for the rest of my life that I will never see my daughter again, the things that happened to my daughter. And I feel like he should get life without parole, so he has to deal with all of the repercussions every single day for the rest of his life just as well.
Do you think he cares? Do you think
And that's what I was thinking. I don't even think the guy cares.
McDougall will sit in jail and feel sorry?
No, see, that's the thing.
And let me tell you something. He can get right with God on his way to hell.
That's right, Nancy. That's right. Oh,
Nancy,
he can get right with God on his way to hell.
I never expect him at all to even have any type of remorse, because you could see it in his face, the type of monster he is and the things that he did to my daughter. But the other people...
TP costs more too, right? Death penalty.
That he will have around him.
That's possible too. NY to LA. That just happened recently. There was a story that I mentioned that these guys killed some guy that did something to a child. It was on Law and Crime.
We'll damn sure make sure that he does not enjoy a single minute of it.
Miss Matthews, I want you to try, and I know these are just words that don't mean anything. You've got to stay strong, because you've got to make sure there is justice for Audrey. You have got to stay strong. Don't fall into that depression and spiral down to where you can't get out. You've got to be her mom now and stay strong and be her voice, because nobody else has been her voice. And now it's on you, Cassie. You got to be her voice. And you can do that.
I failed my daughter once by being bullied into submission and being made to believe that she was in a good home, but I will not fail my daughter again.
Yeah, that's the part. That's what I was referencing. I don't understand what she means by that. It's a little vague, but I mean, maybe now it doesn't really matter, I guess, with everything that's happened. But people were, this is what she says, that she lost her daughter or that the father had custody. This is the answer that she's given online.
By you, Cassie, you got to be her voice. And you can do that.
I failed my daughter once by being bullied into submission and being made to believe.
Being bullied into submission.
That she was in a good home, but I will not fail my daughter again, Nancy. That's... Everybody thinks that I don't care, that I'm just shrugging it off. Oh, she's not crying. She's not this. She's not that. No, I break down. in my home where I'm comfortable. My grieving is not everyone's business, but what is everyone's business is the fact that this isn't over and things need to be done concerning my daughter. So if I got to keep a straight face and I got to look heartless for it, well, so be it. But if I'm sitting there breaking down,
who cares
I'm
what
not
they
getting a damn
think?
thing done.
Who cares what they think? All that matters now is what God thinks and getting justice. That's all that matters right now.
Yes, ma'am.
Cassie, thank you for being with us.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for everything that you've done and how much effort you've put into this. It means a lot to me. I appreciate your realism, your straight to the point, the fact that you're not just trying to be somebody's best friend. You are in the interest of the child, my child. And I appreciate all of the information that I have obtained from you, whether you knew you were giving me the information or not. I just appreciate you in general. Thank you so much.
Guys, thank you for watching Climb Online with Nancy Grace here on YouTube. To get the very latest, subscribe.
All right, I'll put the link to the video in the description, and she also released the extra version of that where it's extended and there's a whole panel. I'm not going to do that right now. But yeah, she released an extended thing as well. So, did the dad know about? I don't know if the dad knew about the criminal history or not, Wilson. I don't look. I don't know. I don't know how the dad could allow the things that he did, whether he knew about it or not. Especially if he knew about it, but just all the stuff that was going on, leaving your kid around somebody like that. I don't know. All right. So I get that for now. That's it for tonight. I think I might take what Carly said and do the shooting thing tomorrow. I was going to try to squeeze it in tonight, but I feel like a little bit of a headache. I think I need to take a little break. And if there's like a chase or a standoff, I'll come back. If not, we'll do the shooting, the Texas shooting, school shooting tomorrow. I don't know what else. I mean, there is things we can do. It's nothing new. I mean, we could do the Chad Dorman thing. That was like 4 hours. I don't know if I'll do that tomorrow. Maybe one of these days of this week, I'd like to do the Chad Dorman thing, I guess. And if we really want to switch it up one of these days this week, we can do that whole cheating thing. That whole I forgot what it's called, that show where the woman is just talking about being cheated on or something. It's almost like what was that? The Tinder Swindler? That's what I think of in my head. Tinder Swindler. Something like that. I don't know. So, all right, man. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate that. Carly, I've heard things like that too. That dad's a creep, allegedly. I've heard things like that. It's not like the people around him were creeps. Who the F did I marry? Yes. We might do that one day just to switch it up. Oh my God. These stories are just kind of like back to back to back. Maybe we'll switch it up. Do something else. All right, guys, man. So I'm going to chill. I love you guys. Take care. Peace. Be good. Bye.